It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and it's time to show you a beer from Morrisons by North Brewing Company. This is a brand new beer in Morrisons by North Brewing Company, and it's called Open Space, and it's a 4.5% ABV gluten-free pale. £440ml can, cost me £3. What you're going to have to do is, now some of these Morrisons beers, they hit some stores and not others. So if you're a craft beer buyer of beer in Morrisons and you like to try all of these different new beers that launch in Morrisons, you probably already know by now which store they're going to land in. So for argument's sake, where I live in Barry in South Wales, actually our Barry branch used to get lots of the beer in, the new beer, and then they kind of swapped it up. They changed it from not giving it to Barry anymore, and they sent it over to Cardiff Bay. So without even looking in Barry when these were launched, so I just jumped in the car and shot straight out to Cardiff to pick up these beers. So if you are looking for the new beers in Morrisons, check out the store which it's most likely to be in for you. Saves you wasting your time. Nice levels of carbonation, or smoke on the can opening, should I say. Beer in the glass. I'd like to say hello to everybody at North Brewing Company. I know they brought a couple of beers out with Tesco last year, 2022, and I wasn't so, if you like, kind to the beers. A couple of the beers I didn't really like at all, but in that incident, if you like, I grew a small relationship with North Brewing Company, so I'd like to say hi with them, because let's show you the beer first. One finger whitehead, good levels of carbonation, hazy looking amber coloured beer, and there's no sediment in the bottom of the glass, but it's nice and hazy. Yeah, I built up a small relationship with North Brewing Company, where I didn't like them beers in Tesco, and they said, hey, we'll send you some other beers, and they sent me some other beers, and the beers, fair play, were absolutely terrific. And I think that's what kind of works in the beer world, doesn't it? I mean, you might like some beers, you might not like other beers. I remember the very early kind of beer reviewers on YouTube. And I'm talking not this current crop, this current fantastic crop, I'd like to add, but some of the very early YouTube beer reviewers, once they kind of didn't like something from a brewery, and this always used to be like Wells and Youngs. Remember Wells and Youngs? I remember that a couple of the beer reviewers early on that they didn't, they had one beer from Wells and Youngs from the supermarket, and that was it. That was it. They made their minds up about the whole brewery, and they would diss or dislike every single beer that came from that brewery. And I sat on the sidelines watching this, not really talked about this for over 10 years because it was quite a controversial thing, and I just sat on the sidelines watching what was going on. But I think that helped in Wells and Young's kind of downfall. It wasn't long after that Wells and Young's beer, you found it hard to find it in the supermarkets. So I will never be that kind of one-track mind, tunnel vision kind of YouTuber where I've had a couple of beers from North in Tesco, and I unfortunately didn't like their beer. But of course, you have to stay open-minded, don't you? You have to stay open-minded with the brewery and with beer, and just be fair. Just be fair. Anyway, I didn't expect to be talking about all that kind of stuff. That just came from nowhere. Aroma on the beer then. Smells really good. zesty, tropical, kind of peach, mango, passion fruit. I like a slightly kind of dry aroma coming through. Yeah, let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Ooh, now then, that's got a fantastic bitter kick to it. Wow, that is like, I was almost tasting the bitterness on the beer before I was tasting anything else. Wow. Really zesty, really kind of like orange peel and grapefruit peel, lemon peel, lime peel. Like you're just smashing all of these lime and grapefruit and orange peels in your mouth. You can imagine what your face is doing, like kind of doing this sort of thing. Whoa, you know, oh, that's sharp. Peppery, spicy. But I always struggle with gluten-free beers in that I always struggle to understand them. Now, I know a little bit more recently because my wife she's going through tests to, it's called celiac, isn't it? It's like an intolerance to barley, malt, that sort of thing. She's going through tests at the moment to see if she's actually got it, and well, who knows what I suppose she'll have to be drinking these sort of beers after that, won't she? But I think it's an intolerance to malt. Never quite. Pink grapefruit, resinous pine, tropical fruit flavours, and bouquets of bright floral aroma, a balance with a crisp and clean, bitter finish. So we'll have a look at the ingredients then. Now there is water, barley, hops. The hops are Simcoe and Chinook, and yeast. So it's got barley in there then. Oh, I mean, call me ignorant if you want. I'm one of these people that, unfortunately, probably many of you are the same. If it doesn't affect me, I kind of don't really take much, I don't really kind of research it too much type of thing, you know. It's like she's bought all these weird pastas now. I think they're rice-based pastas and rice-based spaghettis and stuff rather than the normal. I don't know, but this has got barley. It just said it's got barley in on the side of the can. It's kind of beyond me. I do apologise if you're watching this review, you're interested in the kind of like the gluten-free aspect of the beer review. What I will say, and I think is the most important thing, is that actually, for whatever North Brewing Company have taken out of this beer to make it gluten-free, you don't really taste it, to be honest with you. They've packed it so much full of hops, lovely juicy hops with a lovely bitterness on the beer, that you don't really take much notice of anything else. And I think for you guys, you gluten-free lovely people out there, that's all that matters, isn't it? Is the beer taste good? It's crisp, it's sharp, it's juicy, it's nicely carbonated, it's incredibly drinkable. It is missing something. It is missing something. There's not that much of a kind of a malty flavour, but then again, these hoppy pale ales generally don't taste that too malty anyway these days, do they? Yeah, I mean, long story short, I like it. I do. I think it's all right. It's all right. £3 a can. I mean, if it makes beer accessible to more people, then of course that's a brilliant thing, isn't it? Nice lacing on the glass. Nice beer as you rock it back and forth. Look at that carbonation chasing the head up the glass. Let's get the a final taste and a rating. Rating it as a gluten-free beer. I have had gluten-free beers before, and I never really liked them, but I like this. It's quite nice. If you gave this to me in a bar as a blind taste test, you know, your mate just, oh, I bought you this and handed you the beer, you may struggle to kind of like work out that it's missing something. And of course, that's what North Brewing Company have looked to do with this beer. I like it enough to give it an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.